Word allows you to easily create tables in your documents. If you want, you can also merge or split cells to create just about any table configuration you desire. That's the focus of this video, to show you how easy it is to merge and split cells. One feature of Word's table editor allows you to merge adjacent cells together. Merging cells simply means that the adjacent cells are thereafter treated as a single cell, even though they are not really a single cell.
Maybe it's time to merge the two ideas after all.
Let's say that you have a table similar to what is shown on the screen. You can see that it contains nothing but a few rows and a few columns. If you want to merge a few adjacent cells, start by going ahead and selecting the cells. So for instance, if I want to merge these, I would select these 3 cells. You need to make sure that you select the entire cells, not just any content in the cells. Now go ahead and display the Layout tab of the ribbon right over here next to the Table Design tab. Notice this tool right here. This is the Merge Cells tool. If I go ahead and I click on it once, then Word has combined those 3 selected cells into a single cell. You can tell that it's now a single cell because there is only a single end of cell marker within that cell. If you want to merge cells, I suggest that you do so before you start adding data to your table. If the cells you merge contain data, then Word is supposed to make sure that the data is all combined in the finished cell. In other words, you won't lose any data. However, I've seen Word do some rather funky combining of data over the years, and I find it just easier to do my merging before adding data. That way I get exactly the result that I want. As an example of how Word combines data, I'm going to go ahead and press the Control Z key, which undoes that merge. And then I want to go ahead and click in this cell, and I'm going to just add a few words in here. Nothing special. I'm just going to say 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and select these cells, just like we did a moment ago, and I'm going to click on the Merge Cells tool again. Notice that the content is now within that single cell, and each piece of that content from each of the original 3 cells is in its own paragraph within that merged cell. There's another way that you can merge cells if you would like. This is done by making sure that the insertion point is within the table, right like that. And then all you have to do is on the Layout tab of the ribbon, go ahead and pay attention to this tool right over here in the Draw group. It's called an eraser, and if I click that and then move down within the table, you can see that my mouse pointer now looks like an eraser.
If I could take a giant eraser and rub out everything.
If I want to click on a border between 2 cells, then I've now merged those 2 cells together. I can do that as many times as I want to within this document, and I end up with merged cells just by basically erasing the line that's between the cells. When you're done using the eraser tool, then all you have to do is press the Escape key and the mouse pointer returns to normal. If you decide to use the eraser tool, you want to practice with it just a bit. In my experience, it can be a bit imprecise. Sometimes it will delete just the border, and at other times it will actually merge the cells. If you have non-printing characters displayed in your table, as I do here, then you'll be able to better tell what the eraser tool is doing. The opposite of merging cells is to split them. Word allows you to split any cell into as many other cells as you might need.
Split it? Whoa!
This comes in very handy when you want to split cells that you previously merged, although the cell having been previously merged is not a requirement. Start by placing the insertion point within the cell that you want to split. I've already got the insertion point within this cell that we previously merged. On the Layout tab of the ribbon again, you can see the Split Cells tool. This is the one that you're going to be using. All you have to do is go ahead and click the tool once, and it displays the Split Cells dialog box. Here you can specify how many columns and how many rows you want to split the cell into. Let's say that we want to split this cell, the one that I placed the insertion point in, into, we're going to do it into 4 columns, and we're going to make it, see, it's not letting me go more than 2 rows because it's already 2 rows in here. So if I want it to be 4 columns and 2 rows, then all that I have to do is set those within the dialog box and click on OK. And sure enough, that single previous cell is divided or split into the number of cells that I specified. Now what happens though if there's already data in the cells that you want to split? Well, right up here we have data within this merged cell. And if I go ahead and click on Split Cells, then in this dialog box I can specify how many rows I want to use, how many columns I want to use and how many rows I want to use for this particular cell once I split it. Notice that I can do 7 columns and 8 rows for this particular cell that I'm splitting. When I click on OK, the change is made and Word makes its best determination as to where the original cell content should be placed in the cells that are created after the split. Don't be surprised after you do the split that you'll need to move some of the data around so that it looks like you want it to look. Now, just like you can use the eraser tool to merge cells, you can use the Draw Table tool to split cells. In fact, it's easier to use this tool to split cells than it is to use the eraser tool to merge them. Go ahead and place the insertion point within the table, which allows us to get to the Layout tab of the ribbon. And then all you have to do is select this tool right over here, Draw Table. When you do, and move within the table, you'll see that what you have is a pencil shape for your pointer. And then all you have to do is click and drag to get the split that you want within a cell. It can take a little bit of testing and a little bit of trial and error to get things exactly like you want them to. You can see how easy it is, though, to go ahead and split these the way that you might want to have them split. When you go ahead and press the Escape key, then the Draw Table tool is turned off and the insertion point returns to normal. Now, there is one thing to remember in using the Draw Table tool. You can't use it to split data into separate cells. The data will always remain in the upper or left cell relative to the split. Merging and splitting cells can allow you to organize your table data just the way that you want. There's one huge caveat to remember when merging and splitting cells, however. If you later want to sort the information in the table, then you may not get exactly the result that you want. Sorting works best with plain rectangular tables. If you merge cells or split cells, then your table won't be rectangular, so to speak.
The sorting ceremony will begin momentarily.
So think carefully about not only how you want your data to appear in the table, but also how you plan on using the data at a later time. That way you can make the best decision for your needs. I hope you enjoyed discovering how to merge and split table cells. If so, click the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when new videos are added to the WordTips channel. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today.